welcome back to Broncos Beat. Alexis Perry here, joined by Cecil, Lammey, James Palmer, and Matt Bouye. Guys, the word on the street is that Broncos head coach Vic Fangio is all about zone defense. But according to one of Denver's newest DBs, Fangio's system might be a little bit of both zone and man. Take a listen.
They mix it up a lot. There's certain times corners going to play zone, have the easy down, but then third down, certain got to have it situations like we're just going to have to bow up and play man, and that's what I'm also used to too. And so really I like to play man. I like to press. But at the same time, I'm good with route concepts. I like to jump certain routes and know where my help is too.
OJ Bouye led the league last year in yards allowed with 806. How does Coach Fangio's system, a mix of zone and man, really give Bouye the opportunity to bounce back and regain his confidence?
Well, that's what it's about. It's about regaining your confidence because as a corner, we've heard it for years. You got to have a short memory. Well, that memory last year, by the way, in 14 games, he led the league in yards allowed by the cornerback position. So he's got to bounce back, but he's got better talent around him. Not only a better system, of course, with Vic Fangio and the zone dog defense that he likes to run. You're going to run man concept as well. It just happens in the NFL. You're going to have that mix, but it's about being on the same page as the other players around you. He's got a pair of great safeties on the backside of that secondary. So it's about regaining that confidence for Bouye, fitting into the system, which he does like a glove, and that should lead to better play in 2020.
Cecil's exactly right. And I love that he brought up the point of getting that cohesion with the other guys on the field. I'm probably the only person that went down to Jacksonville multiple times last season. And over the last 2 years, it has been utter chaos on that side of the ball. It's a number of players that I've spoken with have always said guys were out playing for themselves, not playing within the defense, trying to get deals, trying to do different things to where it was not a cohesive unit at all. I was there in 2018 when Calais Campbell's breaking up fights in the locker room post-game. It was a dysfunctional group that OJ Bouye was part of. I do think this is a much better group that he's going to be a part of now. I think that changes his play as well when you look at everything that he was dealing with guys trying to get out of that city and guys trying to get off of that team. I think just that alone, you're going to see a different player in OJ Bouye this year.
I think James is right. This defense, allows guys to come in and have some success, more success than they've had in recent years. Think about even Justin Simmons, different position, but Justin Simmons had a couple of years in the Broncos defense where you knew he had the tools, but he just hadn't put it all together at the same time. Last year, we kind of saw him flourish in that Vic Fangio defense for the first time. So I think when you get a guy with Bouye's skill set similar to Simmons, I think he can have the same type of success, just a different system, a new fit, a fresh start. I think all of those things will come together and really help AJ.
Cecil, you mentioned, Coach Fangio's zone dog defense. We know a team can't play zone exclusively in the NFL. Michael Ojemudia played solely zone coverage at Iowa, but he tested like a man corner at the Combine, even though he's actually never played man. So what do you guys think the learning curve is going to be for the Broncos' newest cornerback?
It better be accelerated. That's what it better be. And Ojemudia, he can test that way, but he's got to prove himself on that field because, again, you can't play zone all the time. So when you do have man concepts, what did he show at the Combine? He showed strength. He showed hip transition. I'm always looking at your hips. If you're a cornerback, how do you transition from your back pedal to your sprint? Can you stay with the receiver in his back pocket? We know he can click and close, right? We know if the play's in front of him in a zone, he's smart. He's going to find the football. It's a great pick for the Denver Broncos, but he's got to prove himself in man, and he'll get tested early and often with this Broncos schedule.
I can't hang out with Cecil and not hear him talk about loose hips. It's
the way it is.
It's his bread and butter, and he's right. But at the same time, what I do think helps him, because he's right, it does have to be accelerated. He's older. 5 years at Iowa. He's a smart guy with a mechanical engineering degree. I think those parts, along with his instincts, can help push him along a little bit. But I don't like that I keep agreeing with Cecil. But at the same time, the two great safeties are a great factor for him as well to help him on that backside. And then the other part is the defensive line. He shouldn't have to cover very long. And I think that's a good addition for a young corner. If they can get pressure and they can move a quarterback off his spot and he doesn't have to cover very long in man, that's going to be a huge addition when he's trying to get his feet wet, learning how to do it at the NFL level.
Well, Mike Kliss reported last week that it looks like, given the addition of OJ Ojemudia, Bryce Callahan will move to his natural position in the slot. You guys, we didn't get to see him in action last season due to that foot injury, but what kind of difference maker can Bryce Callahan be in 2020?
This was a guy coming into last offseason, Alexis, that I thought was going to be a real leader just in those OTAs with Ed Donatel. He's got a lot of history with Ed Donatel. He's got a lot of history with Coach Fangio's system and just his leadership ability, and already having a good feel for the system is going to, I think, set him up to help guys like a Michael Ojemudia to really come along in an offseason where I know a lot of the learning is going to be pretty tough being outside the facility.
I did a happy dance when that report from Kliss came out because Bryce Callahan's a great slot. That's what he is, right? Now, he's that for about 10 games a year, so hopefully you can bump that number up. But he's not an outside corner. He's not built that way. He doesn't play that way. But in the slot, he can be a shutdown slot corner. We rarely say that, but that's what Callahan is when he's playing at his best. So that fit, full year off, fully healthy, let's go with Bryce Callahan as that slot corner. That can be an impact player, especially because you have so many teams in the NFL, especially in the AFC West, they're going to spread you out.
Yeah, that spot is huge. And I'll go short because I'd like us to leave some extra time for Cecil to do that happy dance on camera. Maybe we can tack it onto the end of the show. But when anybody plays in their natural position, it's always an added strength to how your defense operates. Specifically, everything that goes along with playing that position in a defense, and tie that together with a guy who knows how it works, maybe better than anybody else that's part of that unit. I think it's a win-win. It's the scary part of staying healthy and where this team is at the cornerback spot. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to play the slot. He needs to play 16 games for them to have a good secondary.
Cecil, can you share your happy dance?
Yeah, let's get it.
I'm not wearing pants, so no happy dance for me.
Oh, come on.
What is wrong with you?
What is this, Broncos Beat after dark?